All right, this is Shonuff. I'm an artist from Dallas. I'm a visual artist, as you can see, and I've been doing this for about maybe 35 years. And I paint black, productive, historical, and spiritual figures. I am from Dallas in the sense that I've been there ever since 1990. I'm born and raised in Chicago, but 1978 I moved to Miami. I stayed on 79th Street, not far from here, for about 6 years. And from here, I moved to Georgia, where we just had a show. I moved from there to Longview. I moved to Lubbock, Texas for 8 years and moved over to Dallas. And I've been there ever since 1990, traveling the country with Frank Frazier, which is why I'm here in Miami right now. We're all here because of Frank Frazier. Love him to death. All right. Show Enough was actually given to me at 14 by my dad because I was so for sure then. Yes, I wasn't aware of it. My sisters and brothers, I would just say, yeah, that's it right there. And that was it, So back then, they also had an invariable show enough, like really though, So from then on, it stuck. When him and his friends, start using it. I didn't like it at first, but I started hearing it more and more, and I'm sure enough here today. What? Almost 56 years later. Yeah, at 64. Should I say that part right there? Yeah, glad to be here at this time. That's also where a lot of the understanding comes from because I'm an older brother who has experienced a high amount of things from all over this country. It winds up on in my art. Black life, the life I've lived. I do a strong sense of who we are. I'm promoting strength within our community if I could. I actually didn't begin doing it that way. It just went that way by itself. And there, what you see as far as what my art is, that's what it's come out to be. I've come to love it. It's us in the most strengthful, confident way that a person can depict a race. That's what I'm doing right here. Uh, I was in the fifth grade selling Iron Men that I was trying to make black Iron Men. I was selling them on paper to the kids at school. They were a quarter until my mother found a new invention called typing paper. No lines meant 50 cents a sheet. But yeah, I was simply drawing, but I wasn't aware that I was going to become an artist. I thought I was, I don't know what I wanted to become, but I thought I was going to be something else other than this. But I'm glad to have followed this road right now. Yeah. I definitely was. I was in a working world. I was in another world, and I was living that life. And that life is also has also been incorporated into the art that I draw. It shows once again the strength of it, the direction of it. I've become even prouder. Living that life. It's made me who I've become. Yeah, this work is a depiction of my life put together. If it's seen correctly, it can get understood. If the only people that understand it, when they come up and look at it, when it invokes a feeling into them, that's the person that the art is for. Yeah. One of my newest and latest. It's generations now. Uh, I do spiritual and historical art. So there was a time when this was called, somebody told me the word could be found up in there because she was busting in the door. They just knew that the word of God, They were coming in. They didn't know what it was. Like the book of Eli, they just knew finding that word, they would be powerful. And that's what it was called at first. But then there were three ladies that came to my studio one day, a mother, a daughter, and a grandmother. And that's when it became spiritual. And it's now called generations. It's three generations of family living. Yeah, they were beautiful, and I didn't realize that I see that all of the time. A mother, the daughter, and a baby, and the baby was 21 years old who came to the studio, but they all look great. And from that moment on, that's when this art came to be. Generations. There was a poetry club in South Dallas that I used to visit a business that was next door. And when I drove up, they came out and they told me about their poetry business, and they invited all of us back there that night. If you guys could come here, I would let all y'all in for free. And on that night is when Frank Frazier came in. He heard me doing poetry, and he called me on the road to do poetry at the. He took me to Ohio, and I did it there. And then he found out that I could draw, and that everything started from there. Yeah, 1997. Mhm. No, I wasn't. I had work not piled up, but I had work that I had just done. I was just drawing what I was feeling, and I didn't think anyone would like this because it was too strong. Like the pieces that I have here. They are in your face because I'm strong about what I do. I can't do it soft. I can only do it at the temperature that I do it at. So yeah, this is what comes out. Mhm.
Building, don't you?
Thank you just for asking. Oh, you're good. Yes, I do a lot of building. I did used to use um, glass frames, but when we were going out on shows, I would come back with everything broken. Not just the glass, but the frame. My work was always getting damaged. Then I graduated to canvas. They started getting holes punched in them, and they started warping. When I worked with them, they'd be too loose, and one day I was wherever I was, and I painted on wood, and it stuck and stayed, and I've been on wood ever since. I need it strong, just like what's getting ready to get painted on it. It's wood. Then I put a coat of cement on it in certain places to give it that authenticity, to give it that raised 3D look. Then, of course, I put about 30, 40 coats of acrylic paint with my God-given gift, which is my art. Oh, that's an easy one right there. Frank Frazier just rode by here in a spaceship going through these aisles. That's what I'm going to be doing in the next 10 years. Riding through the art show with my art somewhere else, having someone file it out because there'll be a line for my art. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing in the next 10 years. That guy was such a cold artist. He really represented us in a way that I had never seen. I didn't know that we could be represented like that. But since he put it on paper and showed us what Shaka could really look like, what King Tut looked like, he put it in actuality. He brought it to life. We can now see it. We couldn't see it when we read it. We couldn't see it when we heard it. But when we saw it, it rang and touched us all. I'm glad he painted what he painted, which is what made us see. I'm part of a driving force, a new force. Even though it's an older style of art, it's a new force that's coming in that's gonna take over from the old style of art, which is the slave ships, the plantation life, the solemn scenes. I don't want the solemnness. I want us to continue to evolve, get ahead, fly in Lear jets, live in 20-room homes. That's what I'm promoting. Yes.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association.